Okay, we are recording. So, good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Grasser. I'm one of the school counselors here at Westmore Central High School, and we have today Ms. Katzenberger from Seton Hall University, the Pirates, joining us to answer some questions. So, so excited to learn about all the exciting happenings at Seton Hall. I'm an alum, a very proud alum, and so this is great. So, thank you so much for spending some of your time with us today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. This is a great way for us to interact and me to get, some great information about Seton Hall out. So I'll just take a moment. I'll introduce myself. My name is Jacqueline Katzenberger. I'm one of the assistant directors of undergraduate admissions at Seton Hall. So I recruit mainly in Morris County. I do some upstate New York stuff, and also I have the New England area. So I do Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire. So I'm really all over the place. I go to high school visits and recruit at fairs and stuff. So it's really great way. This is to talk, a little bit more personal about Seton Hall and what we have to offer. So thank you again for having me, and I'm very excited to answer some questions.
Absolutely. Thank you. So tell us, what is your favorite part about Seton Hall, the campus, the school, all the above?
Yeah, so I have a little bit more of a personal connection. So I actually didn't go to Seton Hall. I went to Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia, but grew up in New Jersey and actually grew up being a Seton Hall fan. My grandfather went to Seton Hall Prep when it was on the university and went to Seton Hall University, and also some of my aunts and uncles. So I grew up really being a Pirate fan, and now it's kind of a full circle moment, me being now working at the university. And I found, I did grow up being a fan, and I felt like it was a special place. But the more I've learned and now working here, I just found like there's such a tight knit community. And for many reasons, I think that. But even when I'm traveling on the road, I'm going to Maine and Massachusetts, like I said. And even there, when I'm at high schools, custodians come up to me and they're like, I went to Seton Hall years ago. When they're like, what's the tuition these days? So it's really just so cool that I feel like I'm in a job that travels and I go to different places in random areas of the country. And I feel everywhere I go, I find someone that either went to Seton Hall or knows someone about Seton Hall or knows something. So it's just a really cool place that I feel has an impact on people. And I have found that as well in the short time I've been working here.
Absolutely. I remember, so as I said, I went to Seton Hall University, and I was actually there. I'm dating myself, but when the NCAA, when they were in the finals.
Awesome. Yeah.
Against Michigan. So I actually played soccer there. When we were practicing, awesome. There were people coming from all over Kansas, Missouri, Michigan, just to see this campus. It was really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And also, like, we have students from all 50 states of the country. And, we're a smaller university in New Jersey, and people are always like, New Jersey, we don't want to go there. But it's so cool that, we have people from all over the country, and we have a high population of international students. And for some reason, people just think it's kind of a special place, which I'm a little biased, but I agree too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, tell me a little bit about the campus culture, maybe the sports, the activities.
Yeah, for sure. So Seton Hall, we're a private Catholic university in South Orange, New Jersey. Our campus is made up of about 6,000 undergraduate students, around 4,000 graduate students. So we're on the smaller mid-size. We have over 25 club and intramural sports. We have over 150 clubs and organizations. This includes Greek life, multicultural clubs, honor societies. So there are tons of ways for students to get involved on campus, whether it be more for social life and just for fun, but also for research and internships and, for great things to put on the resume. So there's really awesome ways to get involved. And I know students, have so many different outlets for those reasons, whether it them just be playing with friends in a club, volleyball game, or, a club or an honor society that really means a lot to them and something for their future.
Yeah. How about any fun traditions? I remember years ago, I don't know if they still do it, the first night of basketball practice, they would have everyone, I think, either go watch or gather outside in the rec center.
I'm not sure if we still do that. We probably have something like that. Some of my favorites, we do a Christmas tree lighting every year. We're ranked pretty high for the best Christmas spirit, but even if you don't celebrate Christmas or the holidays, it's still just a great way for all the students to kind of get involved in like the Christmas tree, and just, it's usually around final season in the winter. So it's just a nice way for students to, de-stress from finals a little bit, just get together and just enjoy, the holiday spirit. We also have a funny tradition. We have a seal on campus. So our center of campus is called our green, where we have a grassy area. And in the center of that is a seal, a big seal of cement. And they say if you step on the seal before you graduate, you won't, while you're in school, you won't graduate on time. And you have to run from the seal to our rec center, which is not too far from the seal, but you have to run to the pirate statue that we have in front of our rec center and touch the boot of the pirate to break the curse so you can graduate on time, which I think is funny. Even though I didn't go to Seton Hall, I still, when I'm being careful, I'm doing my master's, so I want to be careful. I don't touch that seal when I'm walking around campus. So those are two of my favorite funny ones that we have on campus.
Oh, that's great. And that's great. You're
Yeah.
going for your master's.
Exactly. Yep.
I actually got my master's there as well. So
Amazing.
yeah, I loved it so much. I went back for my master's.
Amazing.
So, what would you say are some of the top majors at your school? Like if I'm going to major in blank, I should absolutely consider going to your school.
Yeah, so some of our popular ones right now, excuse me, I would say our Stillman School of Business houses a lot of popular majors. So accounting, marketing, finance, all of those. There are really, really great internship opportunities with the Stillman School of Business, as well as our other majors and programs. But it's really something you can start as early as your freshman year. So students really take advantage of that. I know when I was in college, I was like, internships. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to, that was like a junior, senior year thing. But it is really nice that students can start as early as their first year and, get that experience under their belt and figure out what they like and what they don't like early on. So Stillman School of Business, there's tons of stuff with that. Tons of dual degree programs. We have some MBA programs, some 3+2 programs for students. So some master's options as well. I would say another popular school we have is the School of Health and Medical Sciences. So this houses our PT, our AT, OT. Our College of Nursing is super popular right now. So our health profession programs draw a lot of interest. For example, our physical therapy program is a 3+3 program. So this is a 3-year undergraduate and then direct admission to the doctor portion for your next 3 years. So these dual degree programs are common at other schools as well, but some of them, here just draw interest for saving time and money and things like that. So the dual degree programs are definitely something that students have a lot of interest in. We also have dual degree programs with our law school in Newark. So we have similar 3+3 programs for that as well. So those are definitely some really strong, that students are very interested in.
Absolutely. We have some students, I think, in the athletic training program that will come and shadow our athletic trainer.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, our athletic training, we have a 3+2 program. And we also have a 3+2 with our exercise science and athletic training.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So really cool stuff. It's all very exciting.
Yeah. So you mentioned financially. So we hear so much about like sticker price versus actual paid.
Yeah.
What can you tell me a little bit about the tuition and maybe some of the financial aid?
Sure, of course. So right now our tuition is around $65,000, including room and board. This does fluctuate year to year a little bit, but that's around what it is. With financial aid and scholarships, so we have our university scholarship. That's our merit-based scholarship that is awarded to students all 4 years. There's nothing they need to do to keep it or apply for it. It's theirs, with when they apply based off their grades and GPA. We also have some outside scholarships, so our Seton Hall special scholarships that students can apply to. These can all be found on our website. So these are ones, depending on your interests or what you're involved in, could apply, and you could apply for that scholarship. We also accept outside scholarships, so any from your high school or within the community that students receive, we accept and stack those as well. And then, of course, filing for the FAFSA for other financial aid opportunities, loans, Parent Plus loans, federal work study, all things like that that are awarded through the government are a really great way for us to, see a student's profile, see what we can award for scholarship and different aid options through our financial aid office.
Oh, great. And do you take the CSS profile or no?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So that as well. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. And what type of student do you typically accept? Like test scores, GPA, essays? Like, could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, of course. So our average GPA right now is around a 3.6 we see. Again, that's the average. So we do see students above and below that. We take an unweighted 4.0. So depending on how high schools do it, we'll always recalculate a GPA if we receive a transcript that is not on an unweighted 4.0, just so all of our students are kind of at an equal level playing field when we receive their applications. So like I said, average GPA is around a 3.6. We are test optional for admissions, but with our averages that we have right now, our average test score is around for the SAT around a 1300 and ACT is around a 29 right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so we're an IB World School and, with both the IB diploma and the career related programs. So how does the IB affect a student's admissions candidacy, and do IB students have an advantage over other students?
Yeah, so with IB credits, we do accept those. Typically, the score of a 6 or higher is what we'll accept. With IB, AP credits, all those things are really great to see on the application from a student. So it does, of course, show the level of class you're taking and the difficulty, things like that. So it is really great to see those on the transcript for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And How important would you say the essay? And maybe talk about that, maybe any suggestions you might have regarding
Yeah,
the
for
essay
sure.
for the students?
So since, like I said, we are test optional, we've been granted that till fall of 2026 for our test optional admission. So since we are, students aren't always submitting their scores. So the essay is a good opportunity to maybe highlight something that's not necessarily indicated in the rest of your application. So I like to tell students, I mean, being the person that reads essays in the application, I want to be, interested in what you're interested about, or you're writing about fishing. I want to be passionate about fishing. So it's just a way to use your voice, talk about something that like made you want to get a degree in XYZ, or why you're passionate about what you want to study. So it's really good way to, you're more than just your GPA and your test scores and things like that. So I feel like the essay is a really great way to show your voice and be unique and to be yourself. So I really enjoy reading the essays. So for that component, I like them to be a little fun and interesting and just to be yourself. Like it doesn't need to be something scary or stressful. I promise you I've read a wide range of things in essays. So it's just a good way for students to express themselves, I think.
So it sounds like authenticity
For sure. Yes.
and
That's a great
student
way to put
voice.
it. For sure. And yes,
Um,
they're important too.
how about activities like in the college admissions process? How much do they weigh in on that?
For sure. So I would say at Seton Hall, we do like to provide a holistic review of the application. So there's not, one specific pinpoint thing that we look for. So the activities and like extracurriculars, all those things are really good to see, while looking at your grades and your teacher recommendation letters and all those things. But like, what do you do outside of school? Like I said, you're more than just your test scores and your grades. You're a whole person that's doing all these really great things. What are you doing, for fun, or what are you passionate about, or what do you have leadership in? All those things are really great to see and something we look for as well.
Um, anything like in particular, any activities that would maybe stand out a little bit more for
I
you when
like
you
to
look?
see, when I'm looking at applications, if a student, for example, let's say is interested in nursing and then maybe is involved in an EMT on the side and does stuff in the community, like things like that, that are maybe, give a little bit extra to maybe what you're studying, or, shows you do have an interest in this. And this is something you are passionate about, seeing those things kind of coinciding, but also, just extracurricular fun activities. Like if you like to sing or you're in a sport, like all those things I think are really helpful to view on an application, just to get an idea of who are you as a person, and not only a student, but as a whole.
Yeah, kind of filling the pieces of the puzzle together,
Exactly, exactly.
you know? Um, if you could give one piece of advice
Mhm,
to a student, either in the college search or the
mhm.
application process, what would that be?
It sounds cliche, but I think being yourself is something that students sometimes stray away from and, try to either be or show something they're not. But at the end of the day, as much as I'm an admissions counselor for Seton Hall, we want our students and, everyone to find where they're really meant to be. And if you're not yourself through the process, or you're not asking questions that really pertain to you and your values and what you're looking for, you're not going to be happy where you end up. And that's what I want. I went through this process not so long ago, and coming from experience, like I sometimes wish I asked more questions, and I wish I did a little bit more research. And I know how scary and daunting of a process this can sometimes be for students, and I don't blame them. It was the last thing I ever wanted to think about when I was a junior and senior in high school, was where the heck am I going to go to school for the next 4 years? But it is so important to ask those questions, meet with admissions counselor, because like I said, I'm here for Seton Hall, but I'm also here for your future and where you're going to fit in best. And that's what's most important at the end of the day.
Yeah, excellent. Love that. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you would like to talk about, that maybe we didn't talk about, just to share with the students and families who are watching
Yeah,
this?
so I would just say, like, another thing I can add about the application process, and it goes for most schools, showing demonstrated interest is something we really do value at Seton Hall. So that means meeting with admissions counselor, attending an open house event, coming to a tour of campus. All those little things do add up and can really help you during the application process. But at the end of the day, helps you more than anything to find, is this the right school I want to be at? Does this have the major I'm thinking of? Do I have these extracurriculars that I'm interested in? So demonstrated interest, finding more about the university, asking those important questions, coming to campus, seeing if you feel right on the campus. I think those are all really great ways to just figure out, where you're supposed to be. And something helps you in the application process, but also helps yourself throughout the college search process.
Yeah, finding that fit is really
Yeah,
huge.
for sure. And I get, like I said, it can be overwhelming, but it is really helpful to kind of look back on and be like, all right, how did I feel when I was on that campus? Did I feel like this was a place I could see myself for the next 4+ years? So it is important, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you one more question if that's
Sure.
okay.
Mhm.
Um, what are 3 words you would use to describe maybe the Seton Hall community?
I would say leadership, servant leadership as well with the community, our Catholics, servant leadership. I would say, hmm, this is an interesting question because I feel like I have so many different, thoughts of how I want to go with this. I would say, I said community. I said, hmm, maybe like alumni network, if that could be 2 words, because I feel students it's not just a place you're there for 4 years. It kind of becomes your family and these people that really matter to you in your future, and when you look back on where you went to college, you think about Seton Hall and how you're an alumni now and how it will always be something that's important to you and has mattered to you for your 4 years. So I think that's a good one I could say. And also just, like, enjoyable, this is a time to, take your life into your own hands almost, and this is a chance to, do what you're passionate about, study what you really care about. This is a time to really put yourself first and your passion and your future and to enjoy it. It goes by so fast. And if I could redo my 4 years of college again, I would. So those are not the best answers, but those are genuinely how I feel.
I was gonna say, I think they're great, and you can
Yeah.
just feel your passion, I
Yes,
almost feel, like,
exactly.
passionate,
Yeah.
and just feeling that from you is wonderful,
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
and I think, like you said, community and then as an alum myself, some of my closest friends are from Seton Hall,
Exactly.
so I definitely, value that very much. So,
Awesome.
yeah, so thank you so much
Of
for spending
course.
the
Thank you.
time. Yeah, I think this was really helpful,
Good.
and I know it's gonna be helpful for the students, and, I look forward to sharing it with the students and the parents.
Awesome. Well, like
So
I said, any other questions, if students have questions from the area, I'm they're really their go-to person. So if any students along the way, feel free to send them all my way. I'm happy to help.
okay, and is there an email where they could reach you?
Yes, my email will be Jacqueline, Jaclyn .Katzenberger. It's a long one, KATZENBERGER, at shu.edu
Perfect,
is my
perfect.
email. So it's just my first and last name with a period in between at shu.edu.
Great. Thank you. I'm gonna stop the recording now,
Wonderful.
but thank you so much, and if you
Thank
just wanna
you. I
hold
really
on for
appreciate